You're welcome on Black Hot Fire Network, Africa Maria from Kampala, Uganda, with my colleague INNOSSETU. It's a good morning from Kampala, Uganda, and we welcome you once again on Black Hot Fire Network, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We are so super excited to be here with you guys tonight, and we are grateful to host another day. Yeah, because a lot, others have died. Yeah, but we're here, of course, and we welcome you from that. Whatever moment you have been, probably others are going to bed, others it's night, so for us it's a morning here, and like always, excited to see you guys here. Now, today's topic is about the reason behind Africa's poverty, especially the reasons that you're not told. Everyone has mixed feelings about Africa, to the point that the majority of the people in the world believe that Africa is primitive, rigid, poor, absolutely poor. And I feel like most of those people don't address the real reason why Africa is said to be poor. But in the real essence, Africa has never been poor, not in history and not now, and never will it ever. And because it has 100% potential of being the richest, because it is the wealthiest country, or it is the wealthiest continent in the world. Apparently, this wealthiest continent in the world is ranked to be among the poorest continents in the world. And I feel like this is something people always say: we have food insecurity, we have lack of access to health care, to the point that we have people come here, kill others only in the name of health care servers. We are government corruption, poor infrastructures, limited, dwelling natural resources. Africa's resources have never been limited. That's one. And so apparently, when the majority of the people in the world, the moment you mention Africa, boom, the first thing that comes in everybody's mind is like, we are looking at the poor people, we are looking at people who don't eat, we are looking at people who are always sick. We are looking at people who are malnourished, because this is the picture that the mainstream usually paints out there: pictures of babies who are malnourished and stuff like that. Africa being the continent that has the most fertile soils and the best climate the world can ever need, being running shortage of food, not having what to eat, is doesn't that baffle people? Or is it that people don't really know what Africa is, apart from what the mainstream shows them? Now, I'm here to bust your bubbles. Apart from the political issues and the political design of Africa, of which we know that was designed by the Western world, Africa is the richest continent in the world. Because, first of all, we are rich in various minerals. Um, because I'll mention a few: gold, uranium, diamond, oil, gas, name but a few. And they have a lot of virgin minerals that are still coming. And unfortunately, Africa has never benefited from its minerals. Um, Yesterday, Innocent to ask a question like, okay, Maria, we know we have gold apparently in Uganda, but like if you stumble on a big block of gold, like, do you know where to sell it? Do you know how to use it now? And I was like, I really don't know. I even don't know where they sell gold. I don't know if there is. One thing I know, there is what they call black market. So if like you're selling gold, you sell gold at a very cheap price because you're selling it at black market. That those people who are supposed to be up there, I guess, who have the license of buying and selling gold. And that license, unfortunately, is not given to African individuals, or is not given to a lot of Africans. Few are selected. So even if I get it, it will just be as if I get a gold and I'm like selling this gold, I know it's gonna be just the same price as me selling plantain, a bunch of cassava, okay, that are picked from the garden, or if this gold will be at the same amount as someone who is selling a heap of tomatoes. So it doesn't, that's why gold, that is how gold is projected in the hands of African people. Now the world did not know this. We are the gold, we have gold, but the value of gold in the hands of an African is almost no value. Gold does not have value in the hands of an African person. And these are things that people don't really look at. These are things that people don't really know. Because someone will say, why do you guys have all those minerals and apparently you're poor? Have you never seen gold before? We have a lot of Africans who are mining gold down there. And to tell you, even those gold miners are the poorest I can even mention, I can say. I don't, when you're going to mine this gold, usually I told you Salvador was mining gold. There is a guy who usually, rides us to school. What is that? So swiping your car to them. He was, I don't know. He used to mine gold. So Salvador could come with a lot of gold. And so remember when you mine, those bazungus who are always at the mines, they check everything. In fact, they undress you as you're coming out from the mining grounds. They undress you, they remove your clothes, they check you cannot even go but in whichever way those guys maneuver to leave the gold mines with the same gold. So he was like showing me the gold they had. You got, that's why a lot of Africans just let it be. First of all, there is too much risk now. Apparently in Uganda you may not be sure, but if you are caught stealing gold in Congo, these white people who are always governing the gold wells will shoot you dead. So a lot of people look at it, they will shoot you dead for something that is going to be worthy like $10, 10 or 5 US dollars, because gold in the hands of an African person is gold with no value, and this is what they made. And this is something that has been drafted, it has been built that way, that for people to have because if it wasn't that, I know we would see a lot of Africans fighting for this. If gold in the hands of African people had value, we would see a lot of African. You think anyone they would just look? Someone can even come and fight you with those guns. They say, let me go, they shoot me, that's how Africans are. So they knew if God was to be so valued in the hands of the African people would fight. And I know, because these people have been, are stealing these things for a very long time. And I know people are so desperate. If someone can go in a bank, broad daylight with a gun, and is seeing the cameras, but they just go in the bank to rob it, they are ready to die. They are ready to sacrifice their lives for this, for the bank. I mean, those are the robbers in Africa now. When they are so desperate for change. Why is it that we have the Europeans, we have the Western people right at the mineral, wells? They are mining the things, and there is no African who is actually fighting them. We are seeing the Africans mining in these wells, but they are not fighting. Because one thing these people did was to make sure that, like I said, that gold in the hands of an African has no value. Like if me, Maria, even if I get like a whole pot, you see people will say gold, yeah, damn. But if I get it, it will not have value to me. It will just be as it will be the same price as somebody who is selling tomatoes in the market. Why? Because we were not given that liberty of selling gold. First of all, the only place you can sell that gold at a very, very good amount, that is probably you go to the bank. And the first thing you step in a bank with gold, you will be arrested. Like, why do you have that gold? Where have you got that gold from? A lot that comes along with Africa's minerals. And that's why a lot of people who sell a lot of Africans who are selling these African minerals actually diehards. They are diehards. Not everyone can do it. Why can't everyone do that? Yet it is almost everywhere in Africa. Why can't Africans have access to that? Because it is very important that we lose the value of gold. It is the same thing with our government selling these minerals to the Western countries. You sell them at a very low rate, and at the end of it all, it is sold back to you in necklaces, rings, whatever, at a very, very expensive, rate. Now, this kind of system was drafted by those who want to exploit Africa. Because if we were feeling the touch or the value of these minerals, I'm so very much sure that Africans would gain the strength to fight and to fight back and reclaim the minerals that they have. But no one has seen all these people who are, I will call them, they usually say the thieves, the robbers who usually steal those gold. No one has seen them develop or become rich. Because once you're on black market, that means black market, you're going to lose value for whatever commodity that you're selling on black market. And black markets are usually termed as illegal. You see. So why is it that a lot of Africans, despite the fact that we have minerals, it is illegal for African people to sell those minerals at a common market? The only place you can go that I feel like is a little bit secure is a bank. The moment you step in that bank, you should come with a very long written documentation that supports you possessing these minerals. As much as it is said that the minerals in Africa actually are not owned by the people. But we saw yesterday, Keith was telling us, apparently in Kenya, where the South African white people identified that there was a certain, a certain plot of land that had gold. They came and bought that land and they started mining it. And at the end, the people were like, no, that land belongs to us. How come you're mining the gold? And stuff like that. So apparently, I think there are some people who are privileged in Africa to have access to gold, and I know they don't have like 100% access to this gold. They also have to take this gold and get a little share when they deliver. Usually, I saw a brother in one YouTube video, and he was talking about the African countries that are, of course, playing a very big role in the situation that is going on in Congo. He mentioned Kagame, he mentioned the president of Uganda, he mentioned some other African, leaders. And like we always say, yeah, those people are involved in this thing. But there is one thing we know for sure: they're also being sent to do that. Apparently, these people have wanted. Remember that the majority of the people in Congo that have actually been so visible that we can point at the US, the United Nations, United Nations personnel. At least those ones we can point at those ones and say we have seen these bazungus over there. But remember, British also wants to have a share. The French people, remember, Congo is a French-speaking, is a French-speaking country, and of course, it's a French colony. So remember, the British also had a touch. So we have what they call the Commonwealth. Those are the Commonwealth countries. Those are countries that were under Britain, were being colonized by the British people. So there are treaties that these leaders signed to deliver. Apparently, they are supposed to deliver a certain amount of mineral, gold, diamond, all the mineral, uranium, gas. These, whether you have these minerals or not, there is an agreement that they signed that they are supposed to deliver a certain amount of mineral and to the colonial masters. You understand? Because this, it's like the independence that Africa gained was bought. It's like we're like, if we are going to give you independence, you have to sign that at the end you're going to give us this and this. So apparently, Africa's government is still a puppet or a slave to the colonial masters, because until to date, Africa is still working for the colonial masters. They're supposed to get shares apparently every year. They're supposed to get a certain amount of mineral apparently every year. So each country that was colonized by the West has to make sure that they reach these targets. And great enough, we are seeing some other African countries breaking away. So they're saying, to hell with whatever. We are not the ones who signed these treaties, so we are not giving you anything because we were not involved the moment you signed that. But some others are still agreeing to this, and that's why you're seeing most of these leaders being used to of course attack, to cause chaos, violence, instabilities in various African countries, because it is very, very important, we as African people, to keep on fighting all the time for them to succeed and take what rightfully belongs to us. Njoke ndokumalira chikapo mina mnana. All right, INNOSSETU, I give you the right.
Okay. Ndakazinda.
Yep.
Unfortunately, ngenda kwogera Luganda.
That's crazy.
Okay. Africa as a continent, it is big, and there is no African country like you're not going to find an African country without a resource. If it doesn't have a resource, it will be blessed with soils, fertile soils. If it doesn't have blessed fertile soils, you find that country with great lakes that can provide fish and other aquatic animals that are
parks.
yeah. If not that, you'll find out that tourism, tourist attractions. So there is no reason you can give to me that Africans are poor, Africans are born to be poor. However, Africans are poor in reality, but Africa is not poor as a continent.
As a continent.
Yeah, but Africans are poor. But there are people that are behind all this. There are people that are gaining in Africans being poor.
And it's important for them.
First and foremost, we see a lot of foreign goods in our lands. There is no way. There is no way. There is no way we can be rich when we still use products that are not African made. Even the mats, the real mats, sometime back in Africa, African parents, our ancestors, not even our parents, used to make mats at home. But we buy foreign mats.
How we are not patronizing our own.
How are we going to get money? How are we going to get rich?
Are you sure?
Okay. So, if at all we can't embrace what we have here, and we use foreign products in Africa, and these people, they normally bring all this, which means like buying a local mat is expensive than this, like this artificial one. So they keep on putting a lot of products, sending a lot of products to Africa, so that Africans can do with what they can produce and export out. And they are the same people, whenever they come here, like they want to do tourism here. They're the same people who buy these things. but it is very hard to find like someone buying a locally made hat. Okay,
Mhm.
but these people buy them whenever they come.
Yeah.
Obasanga bagamba those mat hats. Hmm? But if you find here Africans,
They're
they don't
always made
consume.
from
Eh,
palm trees,
yeah.
palm leaves.
Mm,
What's that made from? Sisal,
mm.
um,
And even
the
fibers, banana
fibers, yeah,
fibers. Mm,
fibers, sisal, palm leaves.
mm.
What else is in there? Anovaseke.
I was like, are they local?
Yeah, they're yeah. Anovaseke. They were put
Straws.
around. It's true.
Straws.
They were put around.
Mm.
Okay, I don't know.
But you find Bazungus buying those things.
Yeah.
But for us, like you look, these people drafted our mindset. You look barbaric, you look too culture, you look too what, or kwambala that kind of hat. Osobola ogyambala. No, njibula onagyambala n'ogenda. Akulaba mu kisaasi. Ayinza okukukwata ayinza ogamba obudde ddala. So these people drafted our mindset that we don't have confidence over what we have in Africa. That's why even you find someone maybe having a plot or some good land when it is having gold. But when it's not caring, there's some other people that are gaining in that.
That's why Africans, whenever recently, of course, a lot of minerals were discovered in Uganda, and everybody was like, "Now that's a curse." Because Africans believe the moment these minerals are identified, people are going to start dying. We're going to experience wars. To the point that most people believe that having these minerals is actually a curse because they don't benefit from these minerals, but they lose their life. A lot of bloodshed. I'm sorry. A lot Bazungus will keep on saying, we got some, racist African stuff, but it is not about being racist. I don't like usually want to talk about the things because they get me a little bit emotional. Africa has gone through a lot. I don't know the countries in the world that have experienced oppression to the point that when we talk as Africans, we do not have the right to talk. To the point that the only human right that the Western world feels like is important are the rights that for them they feel like should be imposed on us. As you're talking about the human rights situation in Africa, you are trying to pinpoint different countries that are killing people and violating their human rights. Why have you not pointed those fingers that are pointing at you at the end? uh, that point at you, of course, with the experience that you brought to Africans. The African Congo has never known peace since Patrice Lumumba. Congo has never known peace. Since I was born, I've never had peace. That there is peace in Congo. I know Congo is a country that fights all the time to the point that the situation in Congo no longer makes news. The death in Congo is something that people is usual thing. This is tea that people drink every day. No one is talking about the situation in Congo. You go ahead and say you're scrapping you from Angola, we're from Angola, it's in bullshit. No, fuck you. I'm sorry to say it, but yes, it is. Because we have gone through a lot. We have seen Africans die apparently every day. The moment you have minerals, bam. Now I know the minerals that have been discovered in Uganda now. Apparently, everyone now is trying to know. Okay, there is a small country in the eastern part of Africa that is called Uganda. Apparently, they've got a dictator, and there is Bobby Wine who wants to come in power. Now, this Uganda had a cannibal is called Idi Amin, and apparently, USA wants to come in a picture to save Uganda from what is happening. No, bro. Uganda has been going through what it's going through right now for a very long time. And you people have not been talking about Uganda. So Why are they so interested apparently? You see the reason why Uganda to say, now we have got these minerals, guys, this is the cost. We're going to start dying. Parents are scared. Being an African is a full-time job. You get hated for your skin. You get hunted for your minerals. You get exploited for your beauty. You get whatever. So I don't know if we don't have, I don't know why we shouldn't be talking about issues like these. And the moment we talk about them, of course, we got those others. I mean, don't talk about that. That was in history. There is nothing that was in history. What was in history actually has just changed its face, but it is still being experienced even now. So for me, when I look at people talking about, all the things were in history, now the world is modern. So hell with you and you thinking the world is modern, that things have changed. Black people are dying. Black people are being killed in Congo. People are dying in these places that are rich in minerals every day. We are seeing violence in Africa, political instabilities that are being triggered by people who have interest in what Africa has. And at the end of the day, people who are less informed about this are going to start saying, you know what? Wait, it's going to shut down. You're going to take water? It's going to shut down. So why do people, well, I don't get it. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it is. Thank you. So I don't know why people think talking about the past is remaining in the past. There is nothing has changed. Slavery has not changed. Slavery in Africa has just changed its face. Colonization never left Africa. It just changed its face. Exploitation of Africa's minerals or Africa as a whole has never changed. It only changed the face, but it's still the same thing. So there is no history actually. We are talking about the present and the past. And we as Africans, I think the only thing we have to do right now is to make sure that we secure the future, because nothing has ever changed, despite of the fact that we don't see people being taken to, of course, to the US or UK for, to do slavery and stuff like that. But we still have people who are being enslaved this time around on their own soils. This time around, they are not boarding the boats. They are not boarding Fort Jesus from the western part of Africa to take them into slavery. This time around, they are being enslaved on their own land. And as much as I will blame, or somebody will say, now you're so dumb, you're blaming somebody for your stupid things. You cannot stand and fight for yourself, you're idiots, now you want to blame. Whoever thinks we are is the idiot one. And I think that they are the ones who are explaining them that from me.
Who said so? Who knows? Who knows? Tukyamusolo.
Obusungu buba bunnuma. Bwe mba njogera ku bintu ebyo. Waliwo ebintu ebinkwasa obusungu.
Waliwo byejjukira. And you will find out that all those countries that have vast minerals, that are the countries that are poor, that are extremely poor. They are the countries that have civil wars, and the civil wars, yeah. Civil wars. They are the countries that are having conflicts, rebels, endless rebels. Kaingire.
Bannange ngenda swala. Ate bannange.
Kongera maji. Kongere.
Nkanyike.
Swala no. Bakwera bisanga sikawulira sikajja konga mna. So like
Nkusanya. Kwekutanya first. Lwaki bamama tokajjeko?
Like this is I was saying that those are the countries that have very many rebel groups. They're the countries that have a lot of people that are unemployed. Take reason being, whenever people like they're looking for employment, the only way, like for those countries that are not too developed, in Africa that are experiencing a lot of poverty, very many people will become slaves in these mines.
I'm seeing Arizona GN is live Daisy $2,005. Saint Mark Rebirth, Laston Florence 55. Luis Luisito Florence. Thank you so much for coming on, of course, our live here on TikTok. Thank you guys. You guys should drop in your comment and tell us what you think about Africa's rate of poverty. Do you believe that Africa is poor, and what could be the reason? You can drop in your comment on our TikTok and tell us what you think, of course. And also, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and like our live. Yeah.
So I was saying that these are the people.
What is it?
Yeah, I think that's why it is taking a lot of BPA. Gireke ebeera mu bakagula ndi mulinga ekola byeyagala. So no matter why these countries where you're seeing a lot of minerals, there are a lot of people that we know the rate of unemployment, not even in Africa, worldwide is high. But in Africa, it is worse. Reason being, these people, whenever they will be like they're suppressed to the extent that they don't have what to eat, what they resort to mining these mines. Nga babeerayo their entire life. They give birth from there. They do what? Fuck from there. Do you know that there are people that have spent their entire life in mines?
Adam says, how did you come to the conclusion of that?
Of course, if someone spends his entire life in such, because you see that their parents are there, even the kids are there, even the water there, they're ever there. Ekibakinda budde obuzima kyogamba bakola.
I'm only imagining. I'm only imagining that sentence, how it came in your mind so fast.
And by the way, the other thing is even the things Africans could have done, they are done by these bazungos. Like cultivation. Chichi mwana. Nga bali wansi ate libayiikiranga. Like we saw a video where people were mining. What was it? Gold. I was with you in this side of Mubende. Like they were mining, but the woman yaserera n'agwa.
Why do they allow women to mine?
Yeah, you know they were mining gold, and you know gold from that side, why it is premature. It is in water form. It is in water form.
Are you sure?
It is no googling. It is in water form.
Namusanga kantu katuzi.
Nga mazzi bitaba.
Anti waliwo gold abeera mu bitaba.
Anti gwe ngamba. Sigamba like they don't tebamugyayo nga like like they don't remove a solid thing in mukitabo. but it is
gikole tulabe nze nti ndaba abamu basengejja amazzi basena amazzi ne buva mu gold nga buli tine nga buli solid naye nga mwe buli
gold.
mbudawali ntekeko waliwo ekigambo water gold abuyitali gold
Chichecho.
kati eba omwo
Chichichino
eri omwo just
so this is what I'm talking about.
ne munda as they filter katula n'ebyo giteekeko eri kali ka video kali eriko olabya kali mu eno ye Uganda bamu eyo tulabe tulabe observer
Illegal gold mining containing water.
Causes of kidney failure. So go to wala waliwo akabaddeko observer.
The other ones were images.
Are you sure?
This one it is an image.
Kati olaba those women who are, though they are holding those basins, they are going to basenawe bati amazzi. There is always a sieve gye bakozesa kitegeera.
This is a mining area.
Kati gold ali mu mazzi. Kati remember waliwo gold ava mu mazzi kati omulaba.
Generators go for gold mining.
Gutting, they get that water, they sieve it, they filter. But God, at times you find when they bring a musenyo obumu, obumu is obusanga, they are very tiny like sands. Kati wabaddawo babufumba ne buvaamu ekitoli olumu osanga nga ekitoli nga kinene. Now look at those women, that means those women who are mining gold. I know those ones are from Mubende. Yeah, Karamoja. Those ones are from Karamoja. These ones are also mining gold. Kati, this gold is not in the water, you see? This one is gold in the land. Now the other gold is in the water. Why? Usually they filter. Ne bajjamu obwo buntu. At times you may find them in big
So I was saying that the other thing why Africa is poor, why Africans are poor. Africa as a continent is not poor, but Africans, they are poor.
The Africans living on that continent,
they are poor. Reason being, even the thing that you could have started and you could have done, it is done by these people.
They don't give us the liberty like to do things on our own.
You know very well that today they're chasing a lot of people on land. Like you're born there, your grandparents are there, but they chase you for a mzungu. They chase you from land.
And the funniest thing is that now, for example, a country like Uganda where land is owned by the people, your land belongs to you. It doesn't belong to the government or anybody else. But I think they find those weak people that cannot fight for themselves, and the next time tomorrow you are seeing someone from the Western countries already building something on your own land without even the money they may give you may never compensate for that, because I feel like the money they give these people can never compensate. Yukida. Let's say, for example, where those gold mines have been found, the oil and stuff like that. Where they're supposed to be compensated tremendously or with a huge sum. This is your inherited land. This is your home. This is your ancestral land. And people will be given Buswa's little money for them to start their projects on those particular land areas where I feel like it is hard for these people to go and resettle somewhere else. A lot has been going on. There is a lot of memories and everything. They never compassionate from this. I ever don't get nze singa nalina landi yange ojinguza mukwano abalala mubawo ne mutategeera nze buwumbi nyinza
I know,
okusomera.
I know, actually he's an American man. In our village, he bought land, like he came, like he was like he created an
He's a white and
orphanage.
American, he's
Yeah,
white.
wait.
Mm,
So he created an orphanage.
mm,
It was on small scale at the beginning,
mm.
but now he's almost buying the whole village, and it is
Little
he's
boy.
and he's putting a fence on.
Mm.
Actually, he's having over like now they are like over like 10 acres
Of land.
of land. He's putting a big fence on the land. He's buying all the neighbors. If you refuse to buy you, and they are buying them cheaply. I was telling those guys, even if you, but I can't sell you my land. I was telling those people, but he built the church. He's buying mana. Ned, do you know putting a fence on it when it is not maybe playground, like putting a fence or on a 10 acre land, a fence. Ettalangalenga liri ku 10 acre lirayo. Can you estimate that land
Ovugawo
of
saawa
10 acres?
ovugawo dakiika asatu ava emmotoka.
Not 20. No, 20 nazo nyingi. Nazo 20. But it's big. 10 acres are big. But the guy is, but he's buying people cheaply. If we refuse to
And
buy
it's
you,
still
if we
expanding.
refuse to buy
Now,
you, they can.
that is now the attack. That is a change.
Mm.
They've changed their plan to that.
And if you refuse, they threaten you to kill you. They do what? They do what? And he's planning with the natives. He's planning with the natives.
Usually we have those sellouts who are already. Usually we have those ngenda nomugambira ne tumaze tugambye papa belenya famira.
Okay.
Alina amagezi olina muniya kati aswala okujja ate yo yali mutulaba
Wadduka.
aswala nti
So the guy is buying almost the whole village. Yagula, he constructed wali like there was some rate or someone had rate or somewhere. Nagula unatekawo eddwaliro. Then at expensive. In the village. Then he bought the other side, nagula waliwo omukadde yali yagaana. Bamutta yali yagaana. Ne wasigalawo abaana be teyatunda, yagaana ne bamutta ne wasigalawo abaana be.
abaana ne batunda.
Tebatunda buli ki. Like in 1 month
That's why.
baali bamaze okutundawo nga bamazeewo.
N'amalaalo ne bagatundira.
Bagasemba. Mu 1 month nga n'omukadde tannaba vunda kutuka nsimbi.
That is the world for you, and that is the threat that Africans are looking on. Because if you see most of this, we talk of first of all, we talk of food insecurities in Africa. It is not only Africa that is having food insecurity issues. The food problem is also in the US. There is food problem in the UK. There is food problem in Germany. There is food problem apparently all over the world, to the point that Chinese have started, doing the food that looks similar with this other food, and because food is essential and very important. And like I usually say, first of all, the attack on food is an attack on the lives of people. Now, if Africans lands are being swindled or are being taken away from them by the so-called bazungus who come, and I know the government is always aiding these people. Simanyi, or you may find nga balina plan ey'amaanyi babazimbisa amale babafulufulu olaba muyinza okutwala eri ettaka n'ensi yayonooneka kati ensi yayonooneka wabaawo omu agitwala yena nammwe n'abatta.
So I want to make my own money. I buy my own. For real, sometimes I ask myself, why did my brother go and like he was like my father's son? Why am I yali alina emputtu? Yali alina emputtu yeekuza. Bayirawo ku musokulo gw'okuza yeekuza, and he wasn't a musika. Yeekuza ko bro wange ono mwezirako yali musika, but he was our elder brother. N'agenda atandika to stay in that land. Not staying in that land, kati oli daliwa formula na feeling jealous. Yeah.
That is it. And that's what happens usually. Such a I hate abista.
Things.
La bestia.
Maybe.
La bestia pambushila for you're welcome.
On TikTok, maybe it means bestie. I know
Yeah,
that language. I know that language. La. Me.
See mine. See mine.
It means me. I know that language. I know that language. So that is what normally happens.
INNOSSETU la Maria. INNOSSETU la Maria. La bestia bestio. Kumaze. Kumaze mama, kumaze I'm thinking that is a cheese of chichito.
Anyway, I was saying that
even La soprano setro. Take that. My culpa, Max culpa. My culpa.
I used to say Ave Maria Gracia.
Oh yeah, you remember like name my culpa, Max culpa. Instead of go sing in the dollar. Yeah?
I was saying that even what a common or an average African can do, it is done by Bazungus. You know that there are very many shops in African countries. You find Indians, you find Chinese. Chinese. Those guys, they're everywhere. Those guys, they're everywhere. We're going to even reach time when we find them in markets. These local markets, these weekly markets.
I'm going to take you on Thursday, the other market where we passed last time. They are there, they are selling what? They are selling plates. They sell plates, saucepans, spoons. Those Chinese are something else.
So how
about to democasana nenio? But when they went to be a boom.
Can you imagine? So
and that's the way they are speaking Karibu Jango play. What? Okay. So
so even what on So even something that you could have done, an average African could have done, it is done by these people.
They also want to sell matchbox, pieces of soap. They want to sell things that the poorest person can do. Apparently, they want to claim everything, all the businesses, big, small, everything. And when they are coming here, they come all in the name of investors.
No, you said they come in the name of investors.
Mm.
No, I told you the other time that the way how these people come, like they come in the name of making constructions, infrastructure, because that's their main goal. According to Google, what they do, they come to Africa to do infrastructure. So when they come, these people come in companies. Yeah?
Mm.
They are employed by their companies to come in Africa. So
Mm.
when they come to Africa, because they know that in China it is worse, so
Mm.
they try to start a living in Africa. They start a living in Africa.
Like those Indians
Mm,
who are here. They last time even some of them have even their burial place.
mm.
They have burial place here.
I also heard that the Indians were claiming that they wanted to be a tribe in Uganda.
Yeah, they were demonstrating for that. They wanted to be a tribe. They wanted to be part. Some of them even have national IDs. Some of them even in their sing name they have added Ugandan names. Crazy,
Mm.
crazy. We got a lot of them here. They want to have part, but
But
Ugandan can go to India and claim that.
and most of these people, I've not seen these people like intermarrying with Ugandans.
Mm.
They would have claimed after the intermarriages.
Bazina abakazi bammwe.
Kitegeere.
Mm.
Naye okufuna omuyinda be bayingiza osobera.
Bagaba
Eh?
gye bali abagaba.
Nga balebo.
Gye bali
So,
abagaba. Even in schools. Nabo they are human beings. Nababeera ne imagine. What is that? Mukyali mukulu nnyo gate eri. Nkoko.
I guess so. Let me see.
So given the situation, of recent, we see like a lot of people have their own imaginations when it comes to Africans. And I know the mainstream has given you different pictures, has created those, fake pictures in your minds about Africans. And yes, I know as much as people want to pretend that everyone loves Africa, we know the biggest percentage of people don't really love Africans. They categorize, but it's okay. Me, I don't really care. Nze I don't care because other people will be saying they have a bad scent, African smell bad. We don't really care. Why? Well, they smell however, whichever. Woman, you will be civil.
Mm.
There is one time, and so matter of song. You cannot come to Africa. There is no Africans who writes a letter
Mm.
to the US or UK, German, Russia, wherever you are coming from,
Mm.
and writes you a letter.
Mm.
Kati omuddemu ki? Sukoli ng'owulira bw'ayomba. Scrolling. Kaya abeera rude, abeera rough kati bukyebi. I think, Keith, I think you are the one who is lost. I don't know which TikTok account you are looking at, but for us, we have been live on TikTok for an hour. So I don't know where you are looking for. I don't know which TikTok account you are looking for, but we have been live for an hour. So I don't know why you cannot find us, unfortunately. Setu, they are saying hi. From Robert Williams. Keith, I think you just have to revise. Maybe you are looking for those other accounts that were banned or something. We are on this new account that we logged in. So I don't. You may be lost through TikTok. You are in other rooms. We are in this room, this other room. So you can knock on a door. You will find us. We are right there. Nobody loves us Africans, Maria. What are you talking about? We have people. Me, I usually keep saying. I don't think there is an African. Robert Williams says salute. Salute, Robert Williams. Hope you're doing good. I don't think there is an African who writes a letter, apart from those others who wrote letters inviting Bazungu, who writes a letter inviting these people who come to Africa. You cannot, it is just unacceptable. To me, Maria, I don't care with other people. You cannot come in Uganda. You cannot come and find me wherever part of Africa I may be in, because you are a Mzungu and you start thinking that you can bring that bullshit on me. You know, I saw this video where this Mzungu was slapping a waiter in a hotel. Like, you know, we're your Jesus. You know, we are Jesus. We are white. We rule you. The guy was talking a lot of crazy things, really. Go there, you take him silent. So, and to the point that he was slapping this black guy, he slapped him, and luckily enough, this guy fought back. He slapped him back.
Like the African.
Hey,
I can also.
He slapped me. You cannot. So naja motu, you're smelling. Your scent is not good. Who has brought you here? And do they even know how they smell really? It is just that those abantu kugira ne mugamba fenna tweberera buli omuntu naye nabo bamunya.
And even when someone doesn't smell well, that is not the way
it's
they
not,
can address someone.
So, and I don't think omuntu ayinza okubeera waiter nawunya bubi okitegera a professional one at that. Okay, Maria, I found you cattle. I know you didn't check. You just imagined that we were not live. You did not check. That one I know, because why is it that now you have found us? What do I got to eyes? So you wanted to go to eyes, Keith. So we cannot be mistreated. We are seeing, even, you know, there are things. So what? There are things that the mainstream does not show the world. First of all, everyone knows that Africa is rich in minerals. People don't see how many people are dying for these minerals to reach wherever they are. For the minerals to reach Europe, for the minerals to reach USA, for the minerals to reach Germany, France, Russia, and these other places. As you wear that gold in your necklace, you should know that a lot of people have lost their lives. As we have them a bling bling thing all over your body, you should also remember and know whatever you are wearing around your neck, a lot of Africans have shed blood on nowhere. And so for me, you cannot be showing me, you know, we are rich, them poor. You should also know that whatever economy you are standing on, a lot of Africans have lost their life. You should also know whatever peace in whichever country that you are having, a lot of Africans have sacrificed for, and a lot of Africans have lost their lives. So everybody, there is, you know, for me, you cannot convince me, because Africa has touched everybody in whichever way, and however, everyone indirectly, directly, Africa has touched, because we have been exploited for a very long time. First of all, We are the reasons why these other countries that are exploiting us are developing so very fast. We are the reasons why even airplanes are made, because their minerals are got from here. We are the reasons why some people have their cell phones that they talk on. A lot of people have lost their lives through the things, and the world is not crediting that. And of course, one thing they don't even show that a lot of young people, because by the way, a lot of African young children have been exploited in these mining fields, because for them they believe these people who of course mine these minerals believe that young children are very trusted. When you come, like, you want to mine these golds at times, Akubi, God. When you come, like, you want to mine these golds, at times they will ask you to go back and bring your young child, because they know these young children can be easily controlled. At the end of that day, they may not even steal their gold, because when you are mining, they don't want you to go even with the slightest crystal of gold. So what they do, we have seen that there are a lot of young children in these gold mines, and it is very risky for a child to be mining gold. At the end of that day, these children die in the water. They drown in this water. Others they get the
Yeah.
soil sliding on them, they die. So a lot apparently is going on, and the world doesn't address this. So me, I feel it is okay for Africans to cry. It is okay to feel pain. It is okay for us sometimes to condemn these acts, because what else can we do? We cannot sit around and look at such kind of inhuman behaviors, or inhuman crimes being acted upon us, and we shouldn't talk or react about it. Because the moment you talk as an African person, even some idiots will keep saying this one is a racist. Stop blaming the Europeans for your issues. Stop blaming the West for your issues. Now, I even pose a question like you posed last time. If they are given a gold in their hand, do they even know what to do with it?
Some people even don't know how gold looks like, how diamond looks like, how tin looks like, how copper looks like. But that we have lived in Africa for some good time, even more than these people have lived in Africa. But we don't know how these things look like, where to sell these things, how these things work. No matter why these people are using this chance to exploit Africa and to keep Africans poor.
Mm. And by the way, also, if they do that, um, first of all, like I said, we don't have value for that. Even if they never bucket that.
Cut copper, leave alone gold. Maybe gold is so known. Gold is like
It is known, but in your hands, in you as gold in the hands of an African, it has no value. Not because you cannot sell it and get value from it, but because you are not given that, and you don't have the right. You don't have the right to do that. That's why when Africans are selling gold, when normal African people are selling gold, it's called a black market. Check it out. If they had put the powers in their hands, I know Africans would have fought back. I know people would even go and lay their lives down. I know if they had put the powers of these minerals in the hands of the Africans, they would fight. If someone can enter a bank with a gun and they are so very much 100% sure that that bank has money, they come even in the cameras, they pause. These are Africans. They come even in the cameras, they pause their faces and they shoot and they take whatever they are taking. Can these people fight to get those minerals back? Can they fight on this person? But one thing, the technique they used is to make sure that the gold or these minerals lose value in the hands of the black people or in the hands of the African. Because somebody will look at, why don't I just go fight and get some cash? Because even if I get a bucket full of gold, it's not going to be of value. Gold is not valued. They do not, even if you have it here, Unless you're saying you're going to pack it in a bag and pass with it at the airport, probably, and go and sell it outside Africa. That's the only way that gold will have value. But how many Africans can board planes and whatever to go and sell gold? How many? Now, the only people at the end who can buy this gold are still the Europeans. They are still the Western people.
And that is the same thing. Like yesterday, we were talking about ECOWAS and other region organizations that aid in trade. These region organizations, they have done nothing, as in to help Africans reach certain goals in reaching markets for African products, for African resources. Just imagine if a common market was created for gold. Simulina na mukwano.
Lwaki mpulira ennyimba ensiiwa?
Like Africans don't. Yesterday we were talking about ECOWAS and the untold stories of ECOWAS and how it is not working for the West Africa. First and foremost, these regional organizations we have in Africa, like the East African Community, COMESA, ECOWAS. The other one, the other one is called what?
AGOA.
No, not AGOA. There was also another that regional organization, but all these they are not making markets for Africa. That's why you may be having a
common market of East and Central Africa.
Yeah, because actually, for me, I think these organizations they would have done markets within Africa at first. They would have done that within Africa, but you see that they have not achieved that within this time. Reason being, they are fake. They don't talk about the price of gold in Africa, where gold must be sold, because someone may be having gold in hands. Very many people actually steal out this gold out of these people they mine for, the bazungus they mine for, but they don't know where to sell gold. They don't know where to sell copper. They don't know where to sell diamond. They don't know.
Even if they did, because I assume they go to the bank. You know, the bank is just going to buy that gold if you don't have a document.
They
will arrest you because why are you having this? But a Mzungu can go to the bank with the gold and nobody's going to question that. So they know. And even if you go to sell it to the black market, for those people who will still at the end sell it to the bazoom, you will sell it cheaply. It is just worth you selling a cluster of bananas on the streets. Gold that we're casting in it's when it has value. So gold does not have value in the hands of the black people. Come on,
So Africans, we don't have that. We don't have that in Africa. So even if we have a lot of resources, when we have nothing to do about them, when we don't have a say about them, even if we mine them, they will be useless for Africa until we know. Until we know how to use these minerals, until we know where to sell these minerals, until we start processing, until the regional markets in Africa work for us, we are still poor but having a rich continent. You know very well that the Chinese can plant rice from here, and we still buy the Chinese plastic rice. It
and for them, when they the funniest thing. The Chinese, when this Chinese plant that I will tell you. When the Chinese plant, when the Chinese plant this rice, apparently like in Uganda, they take that rice back to China. They don't plant this rice to sell to the Ugandans. They plant the rice, they pack it, they take it back to China. and all they will give you is this plastic rice of theirs.
And by the way, I was also told, I don't know whether this is true, but it's true. Like if you have in African countries, if at all you possess capital or wealth or assets or whatever that if they are budgeted, if they are audited like they equal to 100 million, they start following you up. Where did you get that money? And that is Africa. Where did you get that
But
money?
you have seen people who are cheating, swindling, doing that bullshit. Why don't they follow them
And
up?
those are the people that are in the system of following up others. They are the people that are in the system of following up others. So I hear that very many people fear, very many Africans have a poor mindset over money. People fear money. I'm sorry to say this, but people fear money in
Because
Africa.
they have seen what money has done. Because apparently, a lot of people have not got money through the right chance. Because Africa has not given people that platform. You get rich gradually. It is just not so normal for you to wake up one time now. You just wake up, and you've known Maria. We have been here working on Black Hot Fire Network. You have seen us struggle, stuff. And then the next time you see me, I'm driving a car goon.
But that is a poor mindset.
No,
That is a poor mindset.
no, you didn't know. Forget poor mindset. Okay, but you are boy. Forget poor mindset. Forget poor mindset. Abantu bakoze, they have committed a lot of crimes just to get money. People have robbed the others. People have cheated. People have. Oh, did I? I wanted to face.
Today it is looking good, but don't do it again. Lekera emirembe gyayo onanneebaza oluvannyuma. You will catch me later. So you've been saying that a lot of people have done a lot of crimes.
Yeah, so people have seen people kill others for money. I guess that's why people have seen people kill others for money. That's why someone will tremble like, okay.
Besides,
But of course, this issue of people trying to audit and follow up people's money and accounts, I think it is done generally.
And if it is,
but the people that they are supposed to follow up, they don't follow.
That's why I was saying that they are the people that are in the system, they are the people that follow up. So if you reach like 100 million, that's why very many Africans fear to get rich. No matter why we are still poor, we fear to get rich. Yeah, that's true. Very many people have that mindset.
Oh, remind you, INNOSSETU Foundation. The foundation. Akanye twamuliddengaayamba kuba siraba
nakooye nayo yotandise kutambula nga tuli mu kkola twagala tusobe tukole
tuweze essaawa 2:30. Let me first come.
So very many besides we say the Bazungus have done this, but maybe it is a mindset that was created by the Bazungus to have a poor mindset in Africa over money, because when someone like gets rich, they will always say, where did he get money? Where did he do what? Maybe he killed someone, maybe he did what? And those are Africans. That is also actually keeping Africans poor. Besides the Bazungus intervention, however, primarily the Bazungus they are the prime people in making Africans poor, because Africans can start up something. If you're starting up something, they bring in something that is contradicting, something that is chasing away something that you have brought in. So there is no way you can boom. You can boom maybe in economy. You can boom because of course Africans, they have tried as much as possible to educate their kids. It's not that all Africans are they're illiterates. They have tried to educate their kids, but even the education system we have in Africa is making Africans poor. The education system we're having is making Africans poor. Like most African countries. However, I'm seeing nowadays we have like you find in Africa, like they say we have those international schools. They don't follow the curriculum of the colonial period that we fall up in Africa, that we are using in Africa, the international schools in Africa. But these are the same schools that teach about Western life, Western kind of lifestyle. You see, but
The shop is closed,
I told you.
so we are not going to eat today.
Shall
That guy may not come back early.
shall eat? Okuba ebyokukozesa naye nga tugenda kulya ki? Oba togezeko ebirala bibiri. How about the other one? When you cross over
Crossover way.
from here, like you jump there and go the other side.
Hey, that's
Eh,
nice.
like
You
when
have a
when
one?
you stand there,
Mm.
there is another shop there.
We buy maybe matoke.
You like matoke?
And I'm thinking something that's gonna get ready first week. There is peanut. Do you know peanut?
That peanut butter will be enough. And is it good? You said it's not good.
It has sugar and so.
Is it good enough?
And I left one at home.
Katugenda kukola kuti. Is it good enough? Maybe tulya nnyo.
Anti binyeebwa once it is that plain binyeebwa oba nkubira ekyamusabira.
Nno wandiyise emirembe gye.
Atuleetere n'ettooke. Tuleetere n'ebitooke.
Mugambe. Naye tugenda mukubirawo ebyo TikTok.
Tizogenda vaako. So,
So I was talking about the education system in making Africans poor. Like we still have the colonial period curriculum and education system in Africa. However, nowadays I'm seeing international schools in Africa. Like those are international schools. They are following the curriculum of the Bazungus, but they are the people. They are the schools that.
And I don't know why Bazungus. You're talking about the international schools, and it sounds crazy. So apparently, these Bazungus drafted their own. They have their own international schools. They have the ones that are being sponsored. A branch of Cambridge, of course, and Wapsi, we need Wapsi. Nange. So so there are those schools. For them, Cambridge decides to draft its curriculum and says, we are starting a school in Uganda, and it's going to be funded by Cambridge University, Oxford, and some others. And they have their own different who is that? Muyindi tamutusitamira.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm doing good. Where are you from?
I am from Pakistan.
So, Pakistan. How is Pakistan, bro?
Pakistan is very good.
Oh.
Our network is good today.
Oh, good. INNOSSETU, what about you?
Where are you from? Korea.
Sorry?
Which one?
Where are you from?
I'm from Africa.
Africa. That's great.
Yeah.
You are eating rice and pili pili?
That is a Rafa.
Solo langu elinyo. You are eating rice and pili pili.
Who is this woman?
Sendera wali. Sendera wali.
Who is this woman? Who is this woman?
She's my.
Tamwiteekamu alinga omunyambi. Are you eating pili pili?
Like my ear. No, the way.
Tumanyira batala kusalako.
Singer, who is this woman? Who is this woman?
She can hear you. She will respond to you.
What?
Abuuza nno olowooza mutalutegeera. Obumuli mulaba.
You say what?
Is she your wife?
Olowooza buggyeko
She is your wife.
tubugirako. Sorry?
Hello, Blackie.
So you guys on one bed. What do you mean? Tubugirako.
Who is this woman? Who is this woman?
Ono yamanya oluzungu.
Eh,
This one is one who
Okay.
represents them in English.
So you're the one interpreting for your friends. English.
She is your wife. Is she is your wife?
Ndi mukazi wa.
No.
Hello, Blackie. Is she is your wife?
Tubuggyeko mwana. Ojja kunkwasa ose.
Akubuuza. Muwe mukazi wa mulungi.
Wait, except crime.
Excepto.
So how is Pakistan?
Pakistan is very bad. Sando.
So are you at work?
Bayinza okweyambulamu empale.
Are you at work?
Pakistani. Are you fuck your wife?
Mwana tubuggyeko nyiza atembe omuli. Tubugireko.
Leka mubuuze.
Tubugireko.
Electricity is gone.
Tubugireko.
Fuck your wife was
Yakola wele.
okay.
Tubugireko. Where can we end this?
Anyway.
Yes, Breno.
Yona nayo.
PUBG player. He is a PUBG player. PUBG player there. Are you playing PUBG? Cut nothing for it.
Top of viewers, Lani Paminoza. He's the guy. Lani, thank you for being with us. Maybe he's the guy that has been with us.
Oli mu kutapinga mu screen yawe bamama.
Ah,
Anyway guys, oba gaweddewo.
eh?
Gayinza okuba gaweddewo.
Masanyalaze. Gaweddeko. Gaweddeko.
Our electricity is gone. Awuno agenze omuyajjo kyova olaba afuddewo. Kitegedde. All right, guys, we have to end our show right now because our electricity is gone. But we shall be coming back soon because I know it's coming back. So probably, and let's also try to find something to eat. You're going to cook a little bit for something like 25 minutes or 30. We shall be back. Thank you very much for watching and supporting that. Over to Soketo get to Maria. All right. I guess let's first. I'm going to connect on my hotspot. Now the Wi-Fi is off. Let me get some more data on the hotspot so that I can still continue with this. At least we make an hour as the electricity comes back. Oyo musajja taliwo. So then I must get it.
So
So we had to end TikTok since we are not on Wi-Fi and
so we're talking about the international schools. I've been talking about international schools. I was saying that these international schools, they try to preach out they preach Western kind of culture, Western kind of things. Even if you see the kids that are studying from these kind of schools, they're doing their own shit.
Yeah.
They're doing their own shit. However, still the education system that we still have, that we follow, is also fake because it only makes someone has to first seek for a job to get a job, and a white collar job. A lot of Africa, it has actually made Africans dumb that like they don't believe in themselves. When someone like he's looking or is doing a practical job, is getting a skill, they believe that it's barbaric, they believe that it's behind. They want those jobs that require no skill. And it is this kind of education system that we have been following for over time, for the colonial timers that are following up. That we follow in Africa. So
Have we not freedom?
forward. Is it necessary? Let him call him. So so um the education system is making us dumb. We seek for jobs in Africa. No matter what we are finding, we know we are not finding these jobs because, of course, what we are going. Yeah, the design for our curriculum, the history we are.
So practical.
The history we are studying. It is dumb. The theories, we don't do practicals. Imagine we used to study. There's a lot of fucking things.
Yeah.
The physics. You remember the things we studied? We studied in physics, like the weight of pressure in our things that we don't need. Things that algebra. But this was also studied algebra.
Yeah, they do. There is some guy, some crazy guy.
How is algebra applied
There
in
is
real
some crazy
life?
guy on TikTok. It's first time I think
Yeah.
the things I hated to study in school. Algebra.
Nakola buyo okupresenting leero. Jangu tukole tunayo.
I'm cooking, I'm coming.
Batali cooking, ano ebifumbo ebyanjawulo. So
I'm cooking rambuli.
so we are studying, and actually very many African countries we are studying a lot of shit that we don't need in real life to chase the unemployment that we have in Africa. To chase the unemployment that we have in Africa.
First of all, the education system was designed to keep us that way. The education system was designed to, of course,
it was designed to and I guess and I guess even these international schools that we are having, they bring them so that, because most of these kids, most of these people that can have, because they're expensive, international schools.
Mm.
And they say, they do exams from Cambridge, they
Mm.
do exams from Oxford.
Mm.
That's what they do to be there. These are schools that are most prominent people, most people that can afford themselves. You're not affording yourself. Affording yourself.
Sorry guys, I'm trying to buy some data. So now our electricity is off, so the internet connection is down. So I have to hotspot. I have to hotspot from the phone to the laptop.
Mukazi wowe
Murabe,
amuyita mama Africa.
Mama Africa kyo.
Hmm?
Mama Africa kyo.
Wamuyita aba yamusaamu sente.
Mabati thief, Anita Mom has taught many people to bleach. Look at this man with the brown hands.
So I was saying that people that can afford to.
Look at this man with the brown hands. A black face.
Ekyo kifu ddagala sibanga ogwo mukono bamutadde ku muteesi bambi yenna omuddugavu.
Mukono gwe. Ddagala songa ennaku zino ali mu kwiruka ku kiwakana. Guno mukono gwe gulinde kuva mu nda paka.
Lwaki ogwo omulala tebaagulaga?
Anti gwali eno wansi. Gwali wansi. Yogera.
So I was saying that the people that in Africa that can afford international schools, these are people that are well off. These are people that are in government. No matter why, even after some time when these kids are done with their studies, even when they come in power, because of course when you come in power, it is a lie. If you see those people that are in power in Africa, they will tell you that his grandfather was in this position for some time. They do the same things. They do things for the interests of these Bazungus, the whites. Just because they have been eating the same education system for some time in their international schools. But why can't we draft our education system in Africa? Why can't we?
And all our of recent, it would be okay if first of all, a lot of people are desperate. Are desperate, and most of people believe there is only greener pastures outside Africa. At the other side of the fence, everything is dried up. And this is where the cunning thing comes in, that they dictate what you're supposed to study. That if you don't allow them to dictate that means if you have someone who has studied in Africa, if you go with your qualifications outside, they may not, they may not allow you to either get a job or continue with your education. Though, as you're looking for a job outside Africa with your qualifications, still you have to undergo internship training. They have to train you for some good time. And we have seen people go through this. So for me, it's quite similar. Because first of all, training at work is just as you come in when you're green and you get, education just right there and then. And now, because a lot of people just have a lot of hope, they have too much hope in outside countries than hope in Africa. Just that's the way you see we have those prominent people who will have their children fall sick and they refuse to be treated in Africa. To the point even some others, even if they travel outside Africa, they will not trust an African man or black man treating them because it's just someone who has the same color. So don't you have Bazungus around to come and check me? How can this black man, I don't trust him. You see, people have that issue. On a serious note, it's very shaming, but it is true. Because now, why should you for let me ask, like for example, the leaders, why should the president fall sick and then he's taken abroad for treatment? Yet you're the ones who are, building these hospitals and putting in everything. So apparently, these hospitals you are building are not for you. They are for the poor people. For you, are not poor. Why don't you make those hospitals suitable for both you and the people in your country? Then why is it that some people will feel like a black doctor cannot touch me? Rather, I'm Zungu. If I'm Zungu touches me, I'm so very much sure that they will treat me right. Probably they are very skilled. Maybe they understand what they're doing than black people. So that is that problem, that mindset that a lot of black people have, both in the local black people and also the leaders. So it is a two-way thing. And I know we have potential because I've seen great black people, both in Africa and outside Africa, doing tremendous, intelligent, work. And though they are not recognized now, they are not recognized, and also because people have not seen the greatness of us. People have not seen the greater things black people have done. You see, the world is sitting silent over the great things we have done throughout history, even now, that people don't know we can do good things. And that's why someone will be like, no, I've not traveled to Africa to come to USA for treatment to see a black man treating me. I've not traveled from Nigeria to come to America for treatment to see a black doctor treating me. I've left those black doctors in Nigeria. Now I'm in America. I want to see a white American treating me. I've left black doctors in Uganda. Now I'm in UK. I want to see a white UK doctor treating me, because they have not been told that we have ever been great, and we are great, and we have seen great things, and we are doing great things. Now, that all falls in the category of education and information. A lot of information is withheld, more especially the information that describes positive things about black people has been withheld, to the point that somebody feels like they can only trust someone who is not somebody else rather than a black person. To the point that if INNOSSETU, you stand with Mzungu, I know you now, and you start telling me something, I rather believe the other person than the INNOSSETU I know. The information, we are not informed about who we are. We are not informed about the power we hold. We are not informed about the greatness we have. We are not informed. That information, because there is the saying that says information is power. And indeed, information is power. A lot of Africans are less informed. They are not informed about various aspects. They are not informed about very many things, which keeps us in the dark. At the end, we develop self-hatred. When we hate our fellow black people, it clouds our judgment, that we start judging things wrongly, not uprightly. It clouds our choices, that you start making wrong choices, choices that are driven by the controlled society, choices that are driven by an enslaved mind, choices that are driven by misinformation, choices that are driven by lack of knowledge of self, and also the people who are just like you. So that problem this is why we are seeing even a lot of increased rates of bleaching. People actually don't know that this melanin is very important. They don't know how people are struggling to make sure somebody at least sleeps with a black woman to make sure they produce a child who has melanin, just to protect their lineage. And a black man is also looking for a white woman. That means you are looking for that very person for your own cause. You are not looking at a rate of the children. You are not caring to check if I have babies. Or probably you're just looking at they're going to be moratos. You're not looking at the fact that these children may be born with no melanin. And you're not sure. So if these children in the future probably don't go ahead and have this other black woman, what is their future going to be like? Are they going to be safe? Are they going to keep your lineage? Or is your DNA going to die in the long run, to the point that they will be looking for in INNOSSETU's DNA, even your father and your forefathers' DNA, when it has disappeared? And these people know it. They also know the only reason they can secure their DNA is to have this black women. Now, I love the a lot is going on in the world that apparently black people don't know. The vampires are hunting, and the black people don't get it. They don't know that we are the prey that is being preyed. So I guess that is the misinformation that a lot of people lack. Because if you knew the power that your skin holds, I'm so very much sure that each and every black person will be very proud, would majestically, who doesn't want good things? Would be majestically moving proudly and unapologetically, saying I'm black. Yeah, like I said, it is a full-time job. A lot comes along with it, but of course, the positiveness and the good things outweigh the fact that the world shows black people hate. And by the way, Olava, at times there is something like you were telling me here, like when I was saying I'm having something running in my mind, you say, like, why is it running in your mind? You still have something about that. I also use that example and say, most cases people hate people who are better than them. Because when someone isn't better, you don't even have time to look at them. You know that yeah, you might even pass and now while you imagine who is that? They have not caught your attention. Someone catches your attention and you still have them at the back of the mind because they have that positive thing that you are like mesmerized with. Okay, so apparently was INNOSSETU this way, or you understand. But like if you don't put your mind to that, it doesn't concern you. Now apparently black people attract a lot. Extraordinary, exceptional, extraordinary, very different, that you are seen even in a million, whether you like it or not. So this attractiveness has attracted vampires. Apparently, first of all, we are taking their minerals. First of all, we sold them into slavery. Secondly, we did all this. Why are they still standing tall and strong? So for us, we are idly sitting around. For them, we are idly sitting around sleeping. They are very active. They are not sleeping. They are trying to cook ways. What now should we do? What next? If we have tried to introduce Ebola and dudes are not dying, what is it? What should we do now? Why we are trying to depopulate Africa's population and within 6 months it has increased double the number. What is going on? Because Africa was created with that mechanism, of course, of fighting and protecting itself. Because for us, we are naturally people of nature. We are nature itself. So nature fights. Nature fights for itself. As well, even if you try to block water, when water is flowing, it will still try to carve and find a way where to pass. Now that you have blocked this side, I have to maneuver because I'm supposed to be flowing. Now this is Africa and African people. Because a lot of things have been, if those things used like really work, we would not maybe would not be existing, because the extermination of Africa was a program that was laid decades ago. The moment they picked interest, now this is something that the world doesn't tell people. The moment the European picked interest in Africa, they wanted the entire Africa. They wanted the entire Africa, not only the minerals, not the soils. What they wanted to have it. They wanted to reclaim it. They wanted to own it. Chibalumanyo. Okay, and when they are not owning the things, too fine, but we want it to be ours. So free exit and entrance. And can you imagine they are stealing the minerals, but they are still not satisfied. They want to have, or if it was possible, they would just carry and go. But you can't carry and go now. So this is why they cook. That's why I'm saying for us, as we are sleeping, those guys never sleep. And they can never sleep. They are cooking, they are finding ways. What should we do? Tuze kochi, abakazi tubalemeso zala. Tuze kochi, we should make the men infertile. Because they believe as people, once people
they always look for a way forward on how to destroy Africa and to own Africa.
Yeah.
Nenga senyiga.
No, simanyi sobola. Senyiga nensiwa.
GJK.
Osobola obutagirekola.
So they look for what to do so that they can own African land, because
so all the time they are cooking.
And minerals in Africa, I don't know, there is no way African minerals will dwindle. I don't think they will dwindle because minerals grow over time.
Yeah.
They
are flowing.
They grow over time. But when you ask Mr. Google, he'll tell you that one of the problems that Africa is affected, limited resources and dwindling resources, zirimu kuggwaawo.
Basiru tebalina bagezi.
Zirimu kuggwaawo. But minerals, they are like rocks. They grow every day. Do you know that rocks grow? Huh? So minerals are like rocks. They grow every day.
So me as a person, I believe
they believe. Just give me this phone.
Me, I believe as a person that if like I told you, we are very important in the lives of those people, and I believe like if at all Africans knew the powers they held, we would be very proud of who we are. And also, if we knew that these people are so very much attracted to us, we would see the pride. I know everyone will come up like, it's like like there is something you said yesterday, for no reason, because at the end you may say you want a woman to have children. The moment you have the number of children you want, you feel like you don't want her anymore. And maybe you want a man to help you in material stuff. The moment that man runs bankrupt, you don't want that man anymore. This is the love those people have for us. There are reasons why they want us. They have reasons why they love Africa.
Mm.
And I know the moment we don't have those reasons, tebatwagala. There is no one who comes in Africa for Africa. They're here for their own selfish. Omulala n'agamba nzija Africa njagala just having sex n'abakazi beeyo. Mind those people have their wild imagination. N'agamba njagala ngende ate nga simulina kuva eno. Njagala mufuna okuva wali. That's
How
how
they think Africans, they're ignorant, they're stupid. I don't know. Maybe they think they are stupid. They, by the imaginations, maybe even the films they watch for African women. There is a way they categorize African women. There is a way they have a perspective over African women.
True.
Yep. Bad black. I started breaching. Send.
Yena bwe yali alimba ku TikTok mu Cambodia oba ebigamba
Kyogeza kiba kisaaga.
kyali serious nga kiri ku TikTok bigamba kati omanyi oli gwe yagamba mbu ajja kukolaki audio tokalaba mujja kukinga ne kiritolisi yange naye tuzali ategeeza
Kiba kyeyogeza.
ng'agamba n'omusajja live ku TikTok
Kiba
kyeyogeza
kiba kyeyogeza.
kyanyamba
Kiba kyeyogeza. Ate zezo kabebe bintu like certain people's hear about and start doing it. The other person who is saying that is not doing it. Yes, just propaganda. I know.
She's a muyanga oba muyayi naye okimanyi muno talina natural wisdom.
Let me tell you this.
Lwaki nkugamba bwentyo waliwo ebintu like gwe ng'olina amagezi getasobola kukola amagezi go getasobola kukkiriza kukola ebintu byakola olaba ng'ebyo ebintu ebiseera ebimu byayogera ebiseera ebimu byayogera nti ali so nze ate I've ever seen characters of women abaliwo batyo nze kye nkugamba mbaba bwe batyo
means that I don't believe in she's
bikola
she's stupid.
There's stupidness of two emirundi ebiri exposure y'oyo omuntu oyo gye yalina yandibadde kati wakabi muspokeni
And the biggest problem China, he's not educated.
Bantu bangi abali educated mukwala batali ate
teyasoma naye as in exposure it was beyond Uganda. Maybe for the poor people. I don't know.
Tebuli kati it doesn't first of all the motion is for a very long time now. That's cutting the I'm sorry to use my reference, not like I'm trying to compare. But if when that's all again I'm just from madam need to go only 2 months. Nenjogera ate nga she's ali muntu aliwo nti simuziza kwa abantu abasizi tebakwata mangu nnyo. Njogera kitegeera.
I understand.
But nze kali lwaki nkwankuwa reference okuba nina abantu there are people I know nga 100% mukazi character ate beboogera biba bituufu tebalimba. This is one thing you should know. Bwe byogamba ngu abikola because they don't lie. Kati nga Kirobi. Those people don't lie. Ayogera, they don't know ekirungi n'ekibi. Tamanyi nti kino kyenjogera kigenda kunyinza oba nedda. Ate tebalimba. Gwe bw'oba olowooza mbu abikola for staging. Tebalimba. Nze ninayo omuntu gwe mmanyi bw'atyo. So anyway, thank you guys for loving and supporting Be Hot By. But the phone is going to go down. Kati onangamba what's going on with
So, nah.
kati akuba sikwata yogera kalabu
Kale.
kireke tukubuulira obula eddakiika nkunya kireke twogere kasatu wali aliwo tugira tunyumizenga
Nze mbadde manyi the reason why I was giving that guy respect. She has children. Most of those people they don't have kids.
anti kati
Befuula ababandana.
yeah they don't
When
Anti kati
they reach time of giving like for giving back when it is too late. But she's having kids.
ayina anti ndidda ate kati naawe omuntu okutunda ngaonabaana tagenda mugezi kibuuza abaana ebintu tolina kyonamba naawa nze I can never be proud nga omuntu omutunda n'abaana gomwagazaala n'abaana okimanyi ogujjako omuntu akisaala Did you hear recently that I told you how does that make you proud?
Everybody knows about this.
How does that make you proud? Woman to attend. How do you start going between like that? To open that different people that you don't know.
And even the price it depends on what you want. If you want, maybe you pay certain amount. If you want this,
kati andi bw'oba okimanyi bwe bityo ogenda mu bina bakiri kyole bakola eddagala afuna family can't do that. Because now omwana omuleta how are you going to do such a confused
for me,
recently omwana tukuze yali ku TikTok alitali bw'abaana bakoze but I think you are not focusing on those children, but you are focusing on what once you are a parent, it goes beyond you as a person. Nze nga bwe nakugamba last time, tokola choice mu kino kyenjagala, kola choice omwana kye yandyagadde. That is what right parents do. Kati tosobola keera ku makya ng'oli muneekolera kyange. In a day you are meeting like 20 men. Children, n'otandika kumala n'otagenda ku protecting yourself, n'otandika okuleba ana buli n'oleeta omwana munsi. Otegera w'otagenda now he's dating kati waba oli ku datinga then you can do it. Otegera you can do it n'ogamba mukati I'm dating stone it. Kati that one you are thinking about yourself nga gwe naye tolowoozezza ku muntu ajja. Otegera tolowoozezza ku muntu agenda okujja. Kyogala always nzibona mwenye ekintu ky'angamba that I hold so dearly nti Maria tokozesa and those things naye gwe kyomanya buli muntu gw'omuyambulirangamu beera ready nti oyagala okumuzaalira. That is what she told me. Mbw'omulabe nga gw'oyagala abeere taata waki ate bw'omulaba mulabe oyagale nti abaana b'onaazaala babeere part of that person. Ekyo kirina engeri gye kya openingamu ki mind. So I feel like bwe bijjamu there are a lot of things you cannot judge someone no judginga omuntu. Kati kyenkugamba nti no ebiseera ebisinga women decide nti abakazi bwe batakoze eki. But I think you don't follow that woman.
I don't follow her, so.
Gwe maliriza ekintu ekyo.
What I know she always talks about sex things, which I think it's normal to her because we know her life.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't get surprised when she says such things. But they knew me as me. She was creating a brand because like because very many people do that. Look at.
Thank you so much for loving and supporting Black Hot Fire Network. We are looking forward to seeing you in another episode here on Black Hot Fire Network coming soon. Thank you so much for those who have been with us through these 2 hours. It has been me, Africa Mariel, my colleague INNOSSETU from Kampala, Uganda. We are saying bye-bye. See you later.